Hey, what's going on, guys? This is your intermission guide for Mythic Ansurek, going over positions. Quickly talk about the Mythic changes for intermission and for the rest of the fight, for that matter. Whenever you get gripped by the rest, which is that pull-in, you are going to leave webs on the ground, so it's a little bit of area denial as we continue moving around the room. Just some fun little tidbits here. There are exactly 2 pulls that we're going to be taken in this intermission phase. We want to try to beat the third grip. The third one will hurt. Each subsequent grip in this phase deals more damage. Yeah, we're taking exactly 2. We're going to basically ignore the third cast and try to beat the shield break. We should have plenty of space here. If we did P1 correctly, we essentially have half the room to do intermission. The only ability that actually prevents a web from going on the ground is AMS from the DKs. So even if you use Death's Advance or Bop or Bubble or Turtle, all of those will not will prevent the pull, but they won't leave a they will prevent the pull, but they will leave a puddle on the ground still. So you just have to be cognizant of that. You can't just immune and run out, and in the middle of nowhere, you're going to leave a puddle. So knowing that, if you're going to be immuning the actual grip, what you'll want to do is try to dip your toes to the right into existing webs to kind of maximize the amount of space we have, especially melee, because it's very easy for melee, as you have a smaller surface area, to get yourself clogged up and lose uptime on the boss. All right, as far as the little circles that appear around you during the phase, they do a little bit of ticking damage, but it's actually not that much. It's totally okay to run over each other, to dodge things, and even as you're getting ready to get pulled in for each rest, it is okay to slightly overlap some of the circles. Not pixel stack everything, but you can have 1 to 2, maybe 3 people around you, and that's okay. All right, so at the start of this phase, the boss is going to jump into the middle of the room, and we're going to take a big hit from some of the leftover poisons. We just want to make sure we're healthy here as this hit goes off, so you don't die from it. And then the waves start shooting out. I didn't animate any waves here, but essentially the waves will shoot out, you guys have seen them. It's the same thing on normal and heroic and mythic, same thing. So for the first pull, we want ranged to kind of loosely stack in the back right, up in towards the existing poison pools that we left in P1. We're going to try to dodge waves and prefer dodging them to the right. So try to position yourself, to place your webs when you get pulled on the correct side of the waves. However, the most important thing you should be doing in this phase is dodging waves or not getting pulled into a wave. The wave will one-shot you. You putting a web in the bad spot will not one-shot you or one-shot the raid. So that is the most important thing, is 1, not getting gripped in the middle, and 2, not getting hit by the wave. So whatever you need to do that, please do so. In some cases, I've seen videos where half of the range will split onto the left, half of the range will split onto the right. We're going to kind of see how we look naturally in this phase first before I start doing any hard assignments. I don't think it's actually required here. So that's the first web pull. You notice that it just leaves a bunch of webs on the ground, and look at how much more room we have in the room with only 1 more web pull. So again, just kind of spread out and dodge waves. Immune if you would like on the first or the second, but on the second web pull, on the second rest, it's actually going to do more damage than the first one. So this is where we're assigning all personal cooldowns to be used, in addition to a couple other healing cooldowns, to make sure we live this pull, because it is the last big damage event of this intermission. Prefer dodging stuff to the left if you want. Again, you can utilize the rest of the room here for this second grip, because that is the only other thing that's happening in this phase. It's actually really fast. Look at that sweet animation. Trying to go back right. Again, you can loosely stack in groups of 2s, 3s, 4s. That circle AoE doesn't do that much damage. And even if we take up all of this room, we still have a little itty bitty tiny space to kind of nuke the rest of that shield down. we should have more than enough damage to push this phase if everybody's alive. Once we break the shield, we're going to be splitting into our sides. And we'll talk about what that means when I go over the P2 video. But as far as right now, for splitting to the sides, there's going to be a close team and a far team. So close team is X, green, or green is far team, triangles, far team. And hopefully we can get a verve gate, a lock gate from where we are to get the far team to get over there quickly. And that's how we're going to split. I can show an example of the assignments for splitting here. It will be in the thread and raid resources. But close team is going to look like that, and far team is going to look like that. So close team, the team that's on the left there, is going to be going to X, and the team on the right is going to triangle to start P2. All right, gamers. See you there.